Do you want to look like Jo Lindner? Pretty much anyone is going to say yes to that because Joe has one of the best physiques today as far as, well proportioned, shredded, good size, but not too much, no distended stomach. He's just got a really good physique. And honestly, in my opinion, as far as aesthetics goes, it's on par with Chris Bumstead. Even though Chris has definitely, more size, just definitely thicker, Jo Lindner has one of the best physiques today. Now, do you guys want to look like Joe? What do you have to do in order to look like Joe, or to look like Chris Bumstead, or to, look like Arnold back in his prime? A lot of guys think that they're able to achieve these types of physiques if they just hop on the right cycle. I just need to use all the steroids that these guys are using and I'm going to look exactly like them. Well, Joe recently put out a video where he talks about this, and he talks about what he uses as far as steroids.
Massive gains. So the other guy, then I think 2 weeks later or so, paid $100. He brought me a dose pill box of Dianabol tablets. And stupid as I was and young as I was like, oh, how much should I take? And ask these guys for advice. Okay, anyways. And then they're like, yeah, you just take 2 tablets a day, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening. So I did this and didn't feel anything. Like literally, this must have been fake.
He mentions that, guys might be taking 4 times as much stuff as him, and they look not even close to as good as he does. And there's a lot of reasons behind that. One of the main reasons is genetics. If I am naturally just a bigger boned person, I've always been a bigger boned person, then it's not possible for me to look like Joe. Because if you look at pictures of Joe, when he was first started lifting, I'm going to try to include a video that I found about like 8 years ago.
Mein Name ist Jo, das ist mein neuer YouTube-Kanal und ihr könnt hier ein Push-Workout von mir sehen. Das ist am 24.11. entstanden.
If you want to look like Joe and you weren't super skinny like he was, he was a stick before he started lifting, then it's just not going to be possible because you don't have that body type. You might be able to excel in powerlifting. You might be able to look like Larry Wheels perhaps, but you're not going to look like Joe because you just don't have that body type. So many guys think that no matter what they look like, they're able to hopefully one day, get to that elite level and look like Joe or Chris Bumstead, but they don't even have the body type to support that. Me, I do have the body type to support that. When I first started lifting, I was, 6 foot and 130 pounds. I was just a stick. I have relatively small wrists, and the muscle mass that gets put on is almost always lean muscle. I can't get fat for the life of me. It just won't work right now. Maybe it will when my metabolism slows down in the future, but you have to set realistic expectations for yourself, and don't think that gear is the answer to get to the type of physique that you want to reach, because you need to be realistic with yourself. Look at your body type, look at you before you started lifting, and say, do I have the same body type as some of the people I want to look at? And if the answer is no, then I'm sorry, I hate to break it to you, but you can't look like those people ever, no matter what type of gear you get on, no matter how hard you try in the gym. Can you still look good? Can you still be happy with how you look? Absolutely you can, but just set realistic expectations for yourself. There are plenty of guys with all different body types that are able to achieve massive success in the gym and be very happy with the outcome that they get, but you need to obviously have realistic expectations, and don't think that the right cycle of gear and test, D-ball, and tren are gonna be the keys to unlocking that physique, because there's a lot of other factors that play into it. Kind of piggybacking off of that, you have to have every other area of your life in check in order to reach particular physique, or in order to reach goals, right? If someone wants to look like Joe, what do they have to do? Well, first of all, they have to have that type of physique. They have to be a skinny kid at heart, and they have to, it has to be really hard for them to get fat, honestly, in order to look like Joe. They just have to have that type of physique. So that's number one. Number two, they have to have an amazing training regimen regimen, and they have to not slack. They have to put their muscles, through heck every single day in order to build up that muscle and just, constantly be challenging their muscles using progressive overload, just giving their muscles additional stimulus, every single day. Number 2 or number 3, can't remember which one I'm on. You have to have an amazing diet. Joe tortures himself every day, I'm sure, in order to have that physique because, he watches what he eats. He probably tracks everything. And that is because he wants to remain very lean year round. I mean, that's kind of his look. He likes that real lean look. And, so he has to have an amazing diet to go with that. And, if Joe wants to put on muscle, I imagine it's harder for him than someone who is naturally a little bit fatter. Just like for me, it's really hard for me to put muscle on unless I'm consuming, 5,000-6,000 calories a day, quality calories a day. My average day is about 4,000 calories, and that's kind of a maintenance load. So, someone else who is naturally a little bit chunkier, they might be taking in 4,000 calories a day, and that's enough for them to gain 5 pounds a week. So it just really depends on your metabolism, your body type, your diet, your activity levels. So there's a lot of factors that go into it, but you have to have every single area of your life on point in order to reach an elite level, in order to reach that physique that's kind of end game for you. For me, in order to get to Joe's level, my training has to be on point. My eating, I've got to up that a lot. My sleep has to be on point. Callum and Arnold, they always get 8 to 10 hours of sleep. There's documentation of Arnold talking about how much sleep he gets, and that is one of the most important factors of growing muscle. And also the steroids and drugs and supplements that you're using, they do have an effect, but you can be taking those steroids, and if the other areas of your life, training, eating, sleeping, are not in check and they're not at the level that they need to be, those steroids aren't going to do much for you. Steroids are there to, if you decide to take those, which I don't recommend anyone take them, they're there to help you just get one step ahead of what you'd normally be able to naturally. They're there to kind of fast track your success a little bit, but they only enhance the good that you are putting into your body. They only enhance the good things that you're doing in order to accomplish your physique goals naturally. So if you're not doing anything to accomplish those goals naturally, then the steroids are not going to enhance anything. They're just gonna, make you look like crap. There's a lot of guys that do look like crap, and they are on steroids, and they just don't know what's happened. Maybe I need to take more gear. Maybe I'm not taking as much gear as Joe is, so that's why I don't look like him. No, it's because he is so dedicated to what he does, and the gear is just 5% of the formula. But guys think gear is 95% of the formula, and the other 5% is your workouts and your eating and your sleeping and your habits. That's just, it couldn't be farther from the truth, and that's what I want everyone watching this to realize. Don't think that steroids or SARMs or any PED is going to help you reach that goal. That is just something that, if you decide that you want to try to become an elite level athlete, you want to try to have an elite level physique, that's just the extra 5% that maybe will help you get there. So guys, if you appreciated today's content, please hit that subscribe button for me, like this video, drop a comment below whether you disagree with me, agree with me, have some ideas for videos that you guys want to see. I'm trying to put out a lot better content, and I'm really working on that. I'm also working on getting some sponsorships so I can kind of share some unique things with you guys. I've got just a bunch of exciting news coming up, so stay tuned for the following videos.